Well, hello everyone, it's David again. It's new tool time, and maybe for many of you, not surprisingly, it's another cutting tool. I think Tyro Models has probably cornered the market on new cutting tools of late, but this one I think many of you might find very, very useful. Now, many of you already have one of these, this precision saw from Display. The blade is very fine. I think there's an ultra fine, even finer than this one. And many of you, I think, use this for precision cutting. And it's exactly what this is designed for. What happens when you want to try and cut maybe some material which is thicker, more dense? This guy really is not going to cut it. Excuse the pun. I've already bent mine trying to cut something that was actually too thick really for this particular tool. So I had a look around, as I do, for an alternative, or at least I suppose what you'd call a companion to this one. So I wanted something I could reach for when I needed something that the application was more robust. I needed to cut thicker, denser materials. And the obvious one is to go for a razor saw. Many of you might already have these on your bench, and I'd looked at a couple of those, but wasn't very happy with the actual ergonomics of the actual saw itself. And a couple of times I was sawing away and the head moved. So the chuck design, again, wasn't very good. So again, had a look around, see if there was an alternative. And good old Galaxy have a razor saw of their own, which is what I want to show you today. Right, so this is their razor saw, and as you can probably see from the box, it's a hefty piece of engineering. So let's get it out of the box, so we can have a good look at it in detail. You get some instructions in the box, but it's pretty self-explanatory how it works. This is the actual tool itself, and I must admit, when I first got it out of the box, I was very impressed with the engineering. But the thing that really sort of sold it to me is when I held it in my hand for the first time. You'll hear the word ergonomics a lot across these videos, and this has really good ergonomics. Mostly because of the size and of the handle itself. You have a chunky piece of metal to hold in your hand. It has a weight as well, which I feel is necessary to give you the control, because you can feel the weight and you know exactly how much pressure to apply when you're cutting. But of course, the thing with this one is the blade itself. These are 4mm blades. I think that relates to the tooth size, I believe. I went 4mm because I wanted something that gave you an accurate cut, just like this guy, but was, as I say, stronger and more robust. I guess I'm thinking of you guys that maybe do a lot of scratch building, dioramas, if you want to cut through quite strong materials, resins, 3D printed stuff, wood, styrene obviously, but maybe really thick pieces of plastic. This guy will absolutely do it. I've tested this with various materials, and it's a very nice cut. It doesn't catch, which a lot of other blades in this category have a habit of doing. And as I said earlier, the other thing I really like is how the chuck's organised. In fact, I'll just undo this and show you how thick this chuck is. I mean, it's a hefty piece of engineering, and I think that is what sold it to me, because once that's in place and that's screwed in tight, that's not moving anywhere. And I had an issue with these things moving around, which was not very good at all when I was trying to saw something. Once that's in, and then you have the accuracy. You might find that you might have noticed that it's got a sort of flat side and also a curved. The curved, again, is quite useful if you're trying to saw anything that's uneven or anything that has a curve on it. These shaped cutting side kind of gives you more accuracy. So if you wanted to cut through a fuselage, for instance, you could obviously go at it with this side, of course, but starting off with with this curve would be ideal, because it gives you more control again, which is fantastic. In the box, you get the Allen key, so you can undo these two nuts. You may have noticed there's an extra hole on either side. The idea being that you can take this off, move it to the other hole, and then you get a slightly wider or a deeper blade cut. Depends on what you're trying to cut and how thick the material is. So again, you have an adjustment there in case you need to cut something that's a little bit thicker than you can actually get at with the blade in its I guess its central mounting position. Speaking of blades, obviously these spare blades for this particular type are also on the store. I also want to show you an additional blade which I've also sourced. So the replacement for this one look like that. That's how they come if you want a replacement blade, just like this one. But the other one is this guy. Again, it's a 4mm. I think I've sort of standardised on a 4mm size blade. Let me just get this thing out and I'll show you what it looks like. It's actually two curved blades on either side. Mount exactly the same, but it gives you more flexibility. So between these two types of blades, you should be able to cut pretty much any material you might have on your bench. Whether it's cutting flat materials, square materials, and particularly anything that's oddly shaped, but you still want the accuracy, you still want the precision. Again, those words again across these videos you're going to get probably sick of, but that's what it is. I always look for precision. I look for ergonomics, that kind of thing. So when it comes to razor saws, this guy I think is an absolute winner. It's certainly been for me, because I've been working on a diorama recently, cutting lots of different materials, particularly resins. This guy has performed really well. So that's the Galaxy Tools razor saw. That should be on the store as you watch this. As usual, any questions, any queries, do come back to me.